Today we'll be going over all of the achievements in Mouthwashing. This is an indie horror game that came out of nowhere and was very well received. It has 18 achievements and takes an average of a little bit over 4 hours to complete. Now, let's get to hunting. Now first up, there will be spoilers throughout this guide. The game is short, so I'm going to assume that you either don't care about spoilers or you've already played through the game once. I'm also going to put the chapters where each achievement is obtainable on screen so you can just reload those chapters to go get them. With that out of the way, we can get into the first achievement that we can get. I hope this hurts for starting Mouthwashing. A little confusing when you first start it, but then it makes a lot more sense after playing the game. Then during the first scene, we can go ahead and grab the first of a few employee cards to get Anya for finding her employee card. This is just going to be in the locker in the cockpit in that first scene. Swansea will be for finding Swansea's employee card later on in Chapter 8. It'll be in the lounge while he's dancing with the axe. Just head over to the right where the vending machines are and he stuck it in the food dispenser part. Foreshadowing maybe? Nah, we don't need him. That we can see, at least. Then, Daisuke will be for finding Daisuke's employee card. This will be in Chapter 9 in the lobby area next to a board game sitting on the table in front of the couch. Next will be Jimmy for finding Jimmy's employee card. This is going to be later on in Chapter 16. You'll need to go through the lounge and you can find it sitting in the hat of the broken Polly statue. Curly will be the last employee card achievement, and I bet you can't guess whose card we need. Yep, this guy. You can find it in Chapter 19 after Daisuke's death. Just go to the utility room and you'll find his ID near one of the cryopods. Moving on to some of the more random achievements, we have Developer for opening the developer console while in the game. Now you may be able to just hit the tilde or grave key and have this open up for you by default. Otherwise you need to do some setup outside the game. Basically they have a launchoptions.dat file that you need to edit with a text editor and change console enabled equals false over to true. The easy way to get this is going to be by right-clicking the game in your Steam library, go to Manage, Browse Local Files, and then right-click the launchoptions.dat file and edit it in Notepad or whatever text editor you use. Then make that console enabled change, save, run the game, and hit the tilde or grave key to start cheating. Speaking of cheating, the cheater achievement is for unlocking the cargo door in Chapter 2 without actually going and retrieving the code scanner. Pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, just go to the cargo door and put in the code 4517 prior to going and picking up the code scanner. Then Yimpy will be for staring at Yimpy. This is going to be during Chapter 4 after you talk to Anya and head off to find Jimmy in Swansea. Before you go do that, you'll look at the bulletin board in the med bay and see a sticky note with a weird looking face drawn. Just stare at that guy for 10 seconds or so and then you'll get that achievement. Next will be Friendly Introduction for finding Curly during a weird little dream sequence type thing. That'll be in the second portion of Chapter 4, which it'll have you in a dark area walking towards an old TV. Keep going past that TV and walk along the storage shelves until you find a large Curly just kind of staring at you, back through the gaps in the shelves. You can't miss him. Wasteful will be for making the mocktail before the cake during the birthday party in Chapter 7. You'll first have to get water and tonic and mix those two. That's going to be using codes 3142 for the water and 1324 for tonic. Once those are mixed, you're going to need to mix in some sweetener using code 2341, and with all of that mixed, you'll have the mocktail and get that achievement. Just make sure you do it before you make the cake. Then Sock Puppet will be for, well, this. In Chapter 9, you're going to be asked to give Curly his pain meds. When doing that, just open and close his mouth repeatedly. Now, for one of the harder achievements in the game, any percent glitched is for taking the mouthwash from Polly within 35 seconds of starting Chapter 14. Now, this is going to require you to use the console to enable cheats, and it's kind of inconsistent on if it's actually going to unlock or not whenever you do it. So there were plenty of runs of me doing it in under 35 seconds, not unlocking, and then eventually I just said, okay, I'll come back to it later, and then while I was playing through the other chapters, it just randomly unlocked. So even if it doesn't immediately unlock, exiting the game and opening it back up seems to kind of refresh it, so that's generally what people have to do to make that work, but I'm going to give you the kind of run through of what you should be doing in order to get this done. So the process to unlock this is going to first be by going over to the main menu, hit tilde or grave or whatever to enable cheats. Then go to chapter 13, not 14, because you can squeeze out a little extra time this way. Once you're in 13, you're going to hit the N key to skip the chapter, while also holding the P key to skip through the dialogue in chapter 14. Once you're through the dialogue and you're with Sasuke, then once you're through the dialogue and you're just sitting there with Daisuke, you're going to right click to exit that conversation, hit tab to open the inventory, turn on the code scanner, look down at the ground, then hit O to turn on no clip. You're going to go forward to go through the floor, then hit O again to fall while holding shift to drop quicker. After a second, you're going to hit some stairs and have a message come up, then just hit O to turn no clip back on, move to the left slightly, hit O to turn no clip back off, and then fall while holding shift again to fall faster. Then once you have a message pop up again and you're on the ground, you're going to hit O to turn no clip back on, and hold shift while moving forward, and just go straight. Eventually, you'll reach Poly and can take that mouthwash. If you do this quick enough, the achievement technically should unlock then, but if it doesn't, you may just need to exit the game and open it back up. Next, we'll have name of the game for using a bottle of mouthwash. You can do this during chapter 16 when trying to make a drugged cocktail for Swansea. You'll have to get a bottle at some point during that chapter, and then while you're carrying it with you, just go into your inventory and use it to get the achievement. Then taking notes will be for unlocking the gun case without returning to the cockpit. Now, you of course can scan the code at any previous chapter of the game and write that code down, or you can just take it from me. Trickshot is going to be during the weird dream sequence chapters later on when you're in the graveyard with Swansea. Basically, you need to spin around 360 degrees and shoot Swansea, almost a 360 no-scope, but unfortunately, you do have to aim down sights to fire the gun in this game. So the way that I did it was I went into a corner where there were only two paths for Swansea to come from. I just kind of looked down one lane a little bit longer to try to force him to come from the longer path, and that gave me an extra little second of reaction time. Now you'll want to be kind of constantly trying to spin around and then aim down the lane where Swansea should be coming from, and once he's standing there, just try to take a shot, and if you hit him, then you'll get the achievement. In that same chapter, you can get the good ending for letting Swansea kill you 10 times. You may even get this on accident while going for the Trickshot achievement, but if not, just go to the graveyard part of the game and let him kill you over and over and over again until this achievement pops. Now the last achievement in the game is an unmissable one. Go home is for just finishing the game. So once you get to the end, you'll automatically get this one. And with that, we have 100% of the achievements in Mouthwashing. If you found the video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and check out the playlist on the screen for my other 100% guides.